Not shrinking is one thing, but not being infected is another level. I ask you guys to send me questions if, you ever feel that you need some guidance. I got this beautiful question from one of my viewers. I think the title of that thumbnail was something about grow deeper roots. So he wrote, my response has always been to keep pushing forward and not let anyone dim my light. But at the same time, when someone does try to dim my light, it still is emotional and hard not to feel sadness or frustration about it. And he was asking, how to deal with that. And that's the thing. Like some people dim their light, some people don't. Some people still stand there, put themselves out there. They have their own mission. He has his own mission. Something he described too. But it doesn't change the fact that it hurts. It doesn't change the fact that, it saddens him. And how to deal with that. In the past, I toughened up. I would still show up. But eventually, it took an emotional toll on me because unconsciously, my body still wanted to protect me. And I learned how to help her by alchemizing it. And so what I do personally is this. I invite all those emotions, the fears, the anger, the frustration. I invite it all in and I feel it completely through my entire being. Usually I'm also very vocal. And so I express the fear, I express the pain, I express the frustration. I go back into the situation that caused me upset and allow everything to be felt. And it's a very intimate process because you're no longer avoiding it. We are so afraid to feel our emotions, guys. I've been guiding people for a long time now, and I always see them hold back. It's also because it doesn't feel safe to feel those emotions, but those emotions are completely trapped. And they are blocked because we put layers and layers of survival mode on top of it, And maybe we feel weak and ashamed, I don't know. But we don't need to understand. We just need to allow. When you're able to do that, to really allow those emotions to be felt, to express, what happens is it stops hiding and it gets to move. And what I do a lot of times is I always lay down because I guide myself too. And then I close my eyes and I see whatever darkness is in there that wants to show itself. Sometimes it's more like a metaphor, knives from outside piercing through my skin. Sometimes it's even a hammer that is trying to push me down in the ground, making me smaller. I allow all of it. But then I take the time to rewrite the story. And I do that simply by allowing the release to happen. So I open a piece up in my body. I open it up so that every darkness, all those trapped emotions can pour out. Sometimes I even use a water hose to clean it out from the inside out. And then I allow for something new to come in, which is always lighter, which is what you are moving towards. Sometimes it's light that pours in. Sometimes it's flowers. It's always something else. And whatever comes in is the rewiring. After my practice, I always feel so much lighter. It's a dedicated thing that I do and that I used to do more often when I really needed it more. And now I get to do it in a split of a second. Like it takes me 1-2 minutes to do. But it's not just, when people attack you or when you feel sad. It's also when you're frustrated or when you have a creativity block. You can use it for anything. The most interesting thing that I found is what happens after. Either the people disappear or they change their energy around you. It doesn't always happen in that moment. It happens over time, where one moment you were just realizing like, I don't get bullied anymore, or I don't have that frustration anymore. Every time you have triggers, every time you feel that sadness or the blockages, and you do a practice like this, you clear more of that space because you're constantly transmuting it. You're constantly alchemizing it into something new. And that new is always lighter. That new is always brighter. It helps you to really be who you are because you're no longer attracting in your energy field all these things that wanted to attack you. This alchemizing process is on a body level. I also do it mental, and the mental part is something that's described in a lot of books, right? A lot of manifestation books talk about it, how you can mentally rewire yourself. I personally make a combination of that because we need to start telling ourselves new stories. I remember that, I was really frustrated like 2 years ago already after a guy ghosted me. And it was out of nowhere and I didn't see it coming. And I was like, was I just ghosted? And I made an episode on that. A part of me felt like, hey, am I being rejected because I'm not good enough? It was really painful. And so I did a somatic practice. And that's what I saw. No, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you're so much. He can't handle that. And with so much, I don't mean that I was loud or anything. It's like, no, I carry so much, like so much depth, so much wisdom, so much presence. And it was overwhelming for him. If it wasn't for that somatic practice, I wasn't able to see that. And then apart from me alchemizing that in my body, I still had to do that mentally too. And so I told myself a new story. A real man, he rises to the occasion. A real man, he sees what stands out and he's not afraid of it. He actually wants it. And that's the story that I've been telling myself. And the beautiful thing is, it actually made me even more convicted on, the more certain you are about who you are, the more you stand in that true power, that feminine, beautiful power, less people will be a match. But that made me whole and complete even more. It deepened that even more of not needing to perform, not needing to, accept breadcrumbs, but to really embrace that fullness of me and be like, and for the right guy, I will be everything, He can handle that. A real man can handle that. Somatic practices help you in every area of life. It helps you to alchemize all these triggers and pains and frustrations to the point where even if you don't have the respect from your peers or if you don't have a lover in your life, that you get to feel whole and complete and that you don't feel, that sadness and all of that. So that what is meant for you can come in based on that wholeness, that completeness. And that combination of what I do to also mentally shift that with very beautiful perspective shifts, that allows you to stay in sync, even when there's no evidence yet, I'm creating this particular practice for you guys. I use it in my guidance when I do one-on-ones with my clients. And obviously you can book that with me as well. I will have the link in my description. I found that this is so powerful. This on itself needs to just be available for everybody. And so I'm creating that. And you can already register for that. And then as soon as it's created, I will send it out. You can use it every day. You can use it as much as you need for whatever topic. Just know that a trigger is always there as an invite, is always there to show you the parts that want some light. They are asking for to be seen so that it can be released, so it can be alchemized, so you can let go of the stories. And I've been doing this for years, guys. This is not just a one-time thing that I did. No, years. I have my notion. My notion is full with all these somatic practices that I've done. I've made so many drawings of what I saw and what came out of it. So this is something that has really been a game changer, because in the past I only would just feel my emotions. But with somatic practice, it really helped me to really release it and alchemize it. I know firsthand how it works, and it's so freaking powerful. Anyway, I so appreciate Mr. Here Now, this is his handle, for asking me this question. And for you guys, if you have any questions in the future, feel free to send it to me just by commenting on any of my episodes, and I will have a look at it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode.